Hey guys, this is Callum from EnglishShooting and welcome back to the channel and the Bluefield Sports Gun Room. Today we're going to be looking at the Battle Arms development, BAD PDW. And I think just having this here, having this option in the UK is absolutely incredible. Being a UK shooter and being into your black rifles, into your AR-15s, the selection can be limited if you're looking for something purely mil-spec. Out in the States, you can build pretty much anything you want. You have every different manufacturer, every different variety. In the UK, it can be quite restrictive, and it's only down to Otto from Cotswold Classic Arms going through the rigmarole of bringing in these rifles specifically for the UK market that we have them available. So the Battle Arms development is a full proper AR-15, usually in 223 or a whole range of different calibers like 308 or even 300 blackout. But this, like many of the mil-spec AR-15s in 2.2 here in the UK, it has the CMMG drop-in conversion to 2.2 rimfire, and it also has the Better Mag adapter, meaning you can use everyone's favorite AR-15 2.2 magazines, the Smith & Wesson 15-22 magazines. Again, these things are super reliable. Yes, they are more of a consumable part, they do wear out, but I still have my original ones from buying my 15-22 coming on to 5 years ago now. You can see that Connors has already got his hands on this particular rifle, and there is already a specific Battle Arms development magwell from Magload, and you can see that we've got the +6 extension on the magazine as well. This magazine well will be available on magload.co.uk, and as you can see, it has a very distinctive design because being a milled receiver set, the Battle Arms itself has a very distinctive design. Although the magwell on it does actually cover one of the most distinctive pieces, is this V-shaped magwell that comes on standard, and the Magload magwell has tried to keep in keeping with that look, with the through hole there, which makes for interesting viewing when you've got the magazine in there, which I think is just absolutely epic. So the PDW has the Monolithic stock, which is by far the best looking stock that I've seen on an AR-15. It is also collapsible. It takes a little bit of getting used to. It's a little bit different to collapse and pull out the stock compared to a standard AR-15 stock, but look at that. That's pretty much as short as you can get here within the UK. You can't really shoot it in this configuration, but it makes for easy storage and easy transport. And I love small guns. You'll all know that I have the 12-inch barrel on my 15-22, and I do like the smaller compact guns. To look at, because I think, well, you can take it all in sort of one glance, but also shooting in terms of maneuverability and pointability for competition. But the specialties don't end with the stock. So on this particular rifle, it's actually their ambidextrous version, and everything is ambidextrous from Battle Arms. So you have an ambi safety there on both sides. You've got an ambi mag release built into the lower receiver, so your standard release there, and then you've also got one here on the side, so it can be operated left and right-handed, so perfect for you lefties out there. But even further than that, it's got an ambidextrous bolt release. So where the bolt release and catch would usually be, first of all, they have slightly tweaked the geometry and enlarged it, so it's very easy to lock the bolt back with this. On a standard mil-spec sort of bolt catch, it can be a little bit fiddly, and then you've got a slightly bigger lever there to be able to get onto it. But for a right-handed shooter, obviously you're going to be used to having your finger there on the side for the mag release, but you've also got a bolt release there as well. You take the magazine out and you can drop the bolt like that, and as I was saying, really easy to then lock the bolt back. You've got this ambi enlarged charging handle as well, which is really easy to get on. Again, that's the Battle Arms rack that comes standard with this build. You've got the BAD forend on it, and it's quite a diddy one at that, again going sort of tending towards this really compact overall rifle and overall look. And for the keen-eyed amongst you, you might be able to see a little bit of carbon fiber there on the barrel. The barrel itself is a chromium molybdenum Green Mountain match barrel in 22LR. Now try and say that 3 times in a row. So it's got the credentials of being an incredibly precise competition rifle, just an incredibly precise rifle at that. And Otto has said getting with Elite 10X you can get 1/2 inch groups at 100 yards, no problem whatsoever. The addition as well, so some upgrades that come on this one. This is actually a customer's gun who's very kindly given Otto permission to lend it to me. So thank you very much for allowing me to have the pleasure of shooting and fondling your soon-to-be rifle. It's also got the upgraded Hyperfire trigger, and on top you've got the Occo red dot. The red dot for me, it's decent enough. They're about £200. Personally, I'd go for something else, but you are going to get on well with it. There's a lot of top shooters that use them, and the Hyperfire I think is an absolute must. The gun as standard does come with an improved mil spec, but I think you're always worth dropping in an upgraded trigger. Personally, there's a whole host of options, although I got on really well with the Hyperfire. And a grip that I'm actually quite used to, but is actually made with the Battle Arms logo on for Battle Arms, is the X-Tech. Now, if you've not seen one of these before, it actually has 3 or 4 different angles, so you can hone it in exactly to how you want. I think this is one of the sort of straighter angles you can do, and you can bring it back. So you hone it in and get it exactly fitted to your hands, which I think is a really nice touch. Now, taking it down to the range, probably put about 300 to 400 rounds through it, and it ran absolutely flawlessly. Tested it with both CCI Mini Mag and CCI Standard, had absolutely no stoppages, and it was hitting the target accurately every single time. And with all of the ambidextrous controls, at first it does get a little bit confusing. I can see maybe going for the mag release when you go for the, instead of going for the bolt release, and obviously that's going to cause you maybe some issues in competition. But with a bit of training, being able to do everything with that one finger there is going to be a lot faster, and certainly for your lefties, you're going to have the same ease of operation as well. And even for a right-handed shooter, having those controls on the left-hand side as well, and right, being fully ambidextrous, in certain situations you are going to find benefits, getting around certain obstacles, or shooting offhand in competition, which is quite common to see. So whilst I always refer to guns or sort of review guns for competition, I would say that this isn't actually a competition gun. Don't get me wrong, I don't think you're going to do too badly if you take it into competition, but going on to the stills, I did find that the stock just wasn't like entirely suited for absolute raw speed. But to be honest, Otto has talked to me about the customer, and he's not looking for an outright competition winning gun. He's built this gun for him, to his specifications, and for what he's going to enjoy doing with it. So if you're looking to build, I think, one of the best looking all-round guns, and you're not so worried about the outright competition performance, I seriously would check out Battle Arms. And Otto can build them to exactly your specifications, so whatever barrel you want, whatever stock you want, and whatever internals or upgrades you want, he can do. Personally, if I was going to start using this as a competition gun, I would use a different stock. And on that note, showing that the Battle Arms development can quite easily be a competition gun, well, the UK PSA mini rifle champion, Josh Hicks, is now using a Battle Arms development gun. And lo and behold, he does have a different stock on it, which goes to sort of show that this is more of, say, a service or sort of combat stock, rather than something that's going to be super suited to competition. But the fact that Josh Hicks has switched from the very trusty 1522 to a full mil-spec metal milled AR15 from Battle Arms, that's a vote of confidence in itself. He is quite easily one of the best shooters we have in the country for mini rifle, and for him to make that switch does say something. And he is left-handed as well. Funnily enough, his rifle isn't the full AMBI one, so even as a lefty, he's finding just the standard receiver set more than adequate, and was actually down on the range while I was testing this out, and I got to have a little bit of a handle of his gun as well. The question you're probably gonna all be asking is, with all of the Gucci-ness of this, with all of the upgrades and just fine details from Battle Arms, what is one of these going to set you back? Well, excluding the trigger and excluding the optic, it does come with the MBUS Pro sight, so out of the box you will be able to get on target straight away. It's going to run you about £3,000, and I know for any UK viewers you're going to be going, that's absolute madness. I can go and pick up a 1522 for £600. I can even pick up a Lantac SF15 for £1,200. That is the difference between a milled receiver set and a forged receiver set. £3,000, or say $3,000 out in the States is not a particularly expensive AR15. The sky really is the limit, and you are looking at something that really is knocking at the top step of what AR15 can be. You get all of the additional functionality and all of the refinement. It's small little details, like on the bolt release here, it's not a pin, there's a screw in it. On the ambidextrous safety, there's no screws, it is push pins, and I absolutely love that. You push the pin in and slide it off. Whilst it is mil-spec, there are very distinctive customization from Battle Arms. Again, even on the bolt release on this side, there's no pin, it is an Allen grub screw. So you are getting finite detail. These take a lot more time to machine and design and refine, and that's really what you're paying for. And as a standard rifle, to have things like the X-Tech grip, to have an improved mil-spec trigger, to have the unique design and this match grade barrel, well, again, I don't think £3,000 is necessarily an extortionate amount of money. Funnily enough, a fair chunk of that cost is actually made up from the Monolithic stock. So if you're looking for a competition rifle, Otto has said that the stocks alone will run you about £500 to £600. So if you take the stock off and you go for a sort of a standard AR stock, you're going to be knocking around the door of about £2,400, which is actually in the ballpark, give or take £100 or £200 from the Lantac Raven. I think you're getting sort of a lot more uniqueness. I think this gun overall is a lot more special than what I've so far seen from the Raven. So overall, it's a big thumbs up from me. Am I gonna go out and buy one myself? Maybe one day, but at the end of the day, £2,400, £3,000, that's a lot of money. And for me, being very, very competition focused, I found that the 1522 so far hasn't let me down, and it's a huge jump. Yes, I would love to have one of these when I've got my FAC in the safe, just to take out and enjoy and look at, and to, or maybe just show off down the range. But at the moment, there's other things on my priority list where my FAC comes in. So I will certainly be adding this to the wish list. Because of being based here at Bluefield Sports and working so closely with Otto from Cotswold Classic Arms, it's certainly a rifle that I could potentially build over time and maybe spread out the cost. At the moment, I just don't think I could justify it myself, but I do think that overall it is 100% worth it. Again, it's a lot of money, but you are getting a lot of gun. There are very few guns out on the market, both here in the UK and in the States, that can compete for something as special as the Battle Arms PDW. So there we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it and enjoyed having a look at this very special rifle. If you do want to learn anything more about it, have any questions, then please put them down in the comment section below, or alternatively you can get in contact with Blue Field Sports. We'd be happy to help you out here, or get in contact with the man himself, Otto, at Cotswold Classic Arms. Please give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video, and make sure you're subscribed for any future videos. And as always guys, I hope to see you soon.